Well, hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Chicago and why React? I thought it's all Blazor now. Yeah, that's what a lot of people in the .NET space think. It's all Blazor. It's not Blazor yet. Not yet. I think when .NET 6 comes around, it'd be better for Blazor, but Blazor right now, meh. Mr. Jason Barris. You like that background? It's pretty slick background. How do you like that the border down here? The border's pretty sweet, huh? Hello. Yevgeny, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining. So I don't have a ton of time today. This week is actually the MVP Summit. Okay, and I'm a Microsoft MVP, so for those of you who don't know, Microsoft has this program called the MVP program, right? And it's basically they recognize people for all their community contributions throughout the world, yada, yada, yada. And normally, you know, we all meet, there's like about 3,000 of us in the world, and we all meet in Seattle, Washington once a year for the MVP Summit. But due to COVID, obviously that in-person summit's not happening, so we're doing a remote summit instead. And so we have the MVP Summit, which is an event once a year for all the MVPs in the world to kind of get a sneak peek at all the stuff that Microsoft is working on, right? All the little secrets that they're, you know, typing on behind the closed doors that no one can know about yet, but they let us know about it. So we can kind of, you know, test things out, provide feedback, and plan any type of community content ahead of time. So that event is going on this week, but I wanted to just step out of it just really quick. There's a lull in sessions that I'm attending anyways, and right now there's no real session that I care about. So I figured I'd hop out of the event right quick, do a really quick stream because I need to learn something. Jason, any decks you can share? Oh yeah, no. Everything is NDA. Everything I see, I can't take pictures, screenshots. I can't tell anybody. I have to keep it to myself, take it to the grave with me, or until Microsoft finally releases it. So I know all the plans. But to be fair, Microsoft is doing a lot in the open now. And so there isn't a ton of like super secret stuff that they're sharing because mostly everyone kind of knows about it. So the only real new information we're getting is timelines. Every now and then we might get a new sneak peek at something that no one else has seen yet. Probably specifically around tooling and things like that in Visual Studio. But for the most part, it's kind of, everything's kind of done in the open right now. Everyone kind of knows about Maui and what's going on with Maui. And so, yeah. Should be fun when it finally comes out. So today, I wanted to take some time to learn about the React Dock manager from Infragistics. And the reason I have to do this is because I actually have to create some video content about the dock manager. But I've never used the dock manager in React before. So I figured, you know what? I might as well learn how to use this React Dock Manager on live stream. And then after I learn how it works, I will create a video on how to use it, a learning video. And so this video is going to be, you know, really used to help people who use the product get started, you know, like a good old getting started with and how to use it, how this works. But before I can create that content, I have to know how it works. So I figured I would do that with all of you by my side, joining me. So yeah, so what happened is you'll see this live stream, and then probably next week, I will have another video that actually is more like trimmed down, 5 to 6 minutes, getting started with the dock manager, right? Only 15 people watching, that is fine. That's fine, because you know what? You 15, you're with me, we're hanging out, we're having fun, and you really want to be here, right? As long as somebody's there. As long as somebody's there, and I'm not talking to myself. I do that sometimes. I do work by myself, remotely. Yes, I'm here for you, Steven. Okay, so without further ado, let's, since I don't have a lot of time, let's hop into this. So I gotta pop, I'm still trying to learn how to use YouTube streaming, and their dashboard is a little weird, so I'm trying to kind of move things to the side. That doesn't work very well, though. Yeah, that doesn't, okay. Yeah, their dashboard's kind of strange. I need to get used to that. Okay, where am I? Where am I? Boom, okay. So first of all, let's open up. I need to create a folder here. What are we gonna call this? How about just Dock Manager demo? And then here's a little trick. El Condor was hesitating to say that. First time React for me too. Never saw React, finally somebody will show me. Yes, let's do this. I'm not an expert by any means, but I know enough to be dangerous. So first little trick I want to start off by showing everyone is if you're a Windows developer and you do anything in the command line, and you want, normally what you'll do is you'll hit like Windows key, you'll type CMD, it's going to open up a command line, then you have to like change directory and go where you want to go. Well, if you're in a deep folder structure like this, not very useful. So what you could do is when you open up File Explorer and navigate to your location, to your folder, just click in the little address bar here and type CMD. And it will open up a command prompt in that folder for you automatically. So just little tip there. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a React project. That is npx create React app, and I'll call it doc demo. Sure. Now, I was supposed to get some questions here. Maybe I wasn't supposed to provide a name for that. Because normally what I get, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have provided a name. If any, right click, open window terminal. Yeah, no, I just like typing in there. So npx, so I have npm installed. You have to have Node installed for React, of course. And so if you're asking yourself, well, Brian, what's npx? I've seen npm, right? What's npx? Well, so npm is normally used when you like install packages and things like that, but npx is used when you actually want to invoke some type of action, right? So create React app is something that is invoked, if you will. And so I use npx for that. But I didn't get the wizard I was hoping for. So I'm gonna try this again. Because maybe I shouldn't have given it a name. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Let's do this again. So I'm gonna delete this. And look how big this freaking project is. Like all I did was create React. This is one thing about web development that just drives me nuts. Is the size of these freaking apps, man. They're insane. Just to like file new. It's crazy. What, 28 megabyte, 29, 30. Do we to a gig? Will we get to a gig? Will we get to 100? 35, 36, 37, 39. Yeah, this is a huge new project. That's the only thing that gets me about these modern web technologies. The size of these freaking projects are crazy. Just crazy. We're at 46 megabytes and still going. Look how long it takes to delete something. Why shouldn't you have given it a name? Well, I'm trying to get the wizard. There's a really nice wizard I wanted to show. And I think by giving it a name, I might have skipped the wizard. And plus, I also want TypeScript. So that's why. So I'm gonna try this again. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and start while that deletes at 71 meg. Oh my God, 71 megabytes of Oz. Yeah, the Wizard of React. All right, so let's try this again. We'll say, but I'm not gonna give it a name. Let's just do create React app and see what happens. Okay, okay, here we go. Please specify directory, for example. Huh. How come I'm not getting... Hold on, we might need to Google this. I haven't updated in a while. Look, 117, 18, 19, 123 megabytes. Jesus. Okay. I was supposed to get a wizard. So let's open up... create React app TypeScript wizard. Here we go. But see, it's nice because it's actually like a step-by-step thing. I mean, I guess I could do this. I know it hasn't been that long since I created a React app. We'll just go with that. I could have swore it had a wizard. I might be confusing that with the... I might be confusing that with the Office add-in wizard, actually, now that I think about it. Now that I think... Okay, I might have messed up on that. I'm in too many technologies. Yes, I think I'm thinking about creating an Office add-in. So if you create an Office add-in... actually, what's the... While that goes, because you know that takes some time. If you... It's like the yo generator. If you say yo, it's like yo office. After you install the yeoman generator, you type in like yo office. And I think that's what gives you... I think that's what gives you the wizard. Huh. Yeah, the hazards of live streaming, exactly. Jason Bears and the IG CLI SQ for TypeScript, I think. I could be confusing it with that one. I'm in too many CLIs. That's my problem. Too many CLIs. Okay. This is probably the worst part, is just waiting for everything to set up. But yeah, if you've ever wanted to create an Office add-in, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video on that, right? Maybe you want to write an extension for Office Outlook and React, right? You can do that. It's pretty simple, actually. I could do a video on that. That might be of interest. All right, so now that it's been created, I'm just going to type code space dot, and that's going to open this up. And oh, crap. Actually, it's not. This is where I need to be. Hold on. CD doc demo. Forgot to change my there we go. Now code space dot. Now it's gonna open up in Visual Studio Code for me. Alright, so let's take a look at what we have here. If we go to our index, we'll see we're getting our root. And we have our app, and this is TypeScript. I know this because I have my TS config right here. I prefer TypeScript, personally. Get all that strong typing. And if you're not aware, the new React template generator creates function-based components, React components, right? So we're not component-based, right? It's now function-based components. All right, so here's app. Just for fun, let me go ahead and npm start this bad boy. Let's just see what the default app looks like. That's it. That's the default app. Let me just dock that over there. And hopefully I can just work in this one little window. Hoping I can work here. Okay, so function app return, and all we're doing is returning. It looks like HTML. It really looks like HTML, but this is called JSX. This is actually JavaScript. So it looks like you're returning HTML, and it's HTML-ish, but this is actually JavaScript. Okay, so just to clarify, that's a little confusing when you're getting started with React, because you'll see, oh, I just typed my HTML in here. Not really. This is called JSX, right? It's like a mixture, if you will, of, you know, JavaScript and HTML. Because, for example, like right here, okay, you know what? Let's delete all this. I'll show you what I mean. Get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. I'll save that. That should go to nothing. And so, for example, what should we do? What should we do? Put a label in here. No, not a label. It's just a paragraph. See, we can put code in here. Like text. Testing. Now we haven't got to use state or anything like that, so see, boom, testing. So actually, I put in a paragraph, right? I'm using interpolation here with my little curly braces. This is kind of the syntax you use for your bindings. I created a property here called text. I'm just saying, hey, p tag, I want you to render this text that's in here, and it's set to testing. So go ahead and render that for me. That's the syntax for that, and boom, there you go. So I can change this to H1, for example. Save that, and it's bigger now, right? Pretty easy, pretty simple. Not much to it. So what I want to do today is I want to learn how we could use the dock manager. Now, which dock manager? What are you talking about, Brian? Well, if we go to Infragistics, Infragistics.com. Here, actually, I'll just paste this in the chat if you guys want to check it out. And so Infragistics is the company that I work for, and we provide a number of UI components to use in your applications. And it could be any technology, but today we're talking about React. And so when you scroll down to these components, you can say, oh, okay, I'm writing a React app. What kind of components do I want to use? Oh, I have a data chart, financial chart, category chart, pie chart, donut chart, spark lines, doc managers, Excel libraries, spreadsheet controls. Yeah, if you want a spreadsheet control in your React app, you can do it. And I'm talking like for a legit spreadsheet. Hold on, let me show you. This is legit Excel, right? Tables, all that crazy stuff. Okay. But what we want to do today is I want to see how does the dock manager work in React. So let's do this. So here's a sample, and there's no code. Okay, what about this one? Dock manager. Oh, okay, finally some instructions. We'll need to improve that. I'm gonna write that down as a, we need to fix that, right? Okay, so ideally we'll start with just creating something like this. And this looks outdated, actually. This is the old version. But this is what a dock manager is. If you've never seen a dock manager, right? You can click panes and dock them, and you can pin panes and unpin them, right? Unpin, collapse those on the sides, bring them out, float them around. So this type of interface is very popular on desktop applications. You know, the old WinForms, WPF. These basically rule desktop apps. But what we found is a lot of the corporations or enterprises that have these desktop apps, they're starting to move from desktop to web, and they want to kind of keep the same interface and end user experience that they had in their desktop app, but they want to bring it to the web. And so that's where the dock manager was born, because this is so common in your desktop applications that we had to bring it over, right? This is the first step to converting a desktop application to a web app is your layout. And so we have to match your layout. Okay, so what do we do to start using this? Well, first, we need to npm install ignite UI-dock manager. Okay, well, one thing about this code snippet, this is not required. this is by default, so I don't know why we have that in the code snippet. That's annoying. We gotta fix that. All right, note, remove the dash dash save. Okay, so let's open up code here. And I'm gonna type in my console down here, npm, maybe I need a, oh, I'm running. Sorry about that. Okay, npm install ignite UI -dock manager. All right, so we're gonna let that install. And actually, let's bring this over here so I can just follow the directions. Okay, so that installed. Next, we need to import define custom elements from ignite UI dock manager loader. Okay, let's do that. Now, normally you might want to copy and paste this, but I kind of want to learn it, and it helps me better to learn it if I type it out myself. So I'll say define custom elements, even though I'm not a very good typer. From ignite UI -dock manager /loader. Okay, then we got to call define custom elements. Now, I believe the reason we have to do this is because this is technically a web component. So it's not a native React component like that derives from React, right? This is a web component, which is basically seen as a native HTML JavaScript component. It looks like a built-in component, actually. That's what web components are. And so, like, our strategy going forward is, you know, historically we always kind of created platform-specific components, but then, you know, for example, Angular, we'll write a platform-specific Angular component. But what winds up happening is then Angular updates and changes something and breaks something, and then a new JavaScript framework comes out. And it's like, well, crap. So what we're starting to do is write everything in web component. That way, if it's HTML and JavaScript, it will work no matter what platform you're using. So that's the approach we're taking now. So next, okay, so I defined my custom elements here. Now, what's it say? Okay, it's talking about usage of content pane, split pane. I just want to get to work first. And once it works, then I'll, what? There's no code. Okay. We definitely need to improve the docs here because this sucks. I guess I can open this on Code Sandbox and get the code. Oh, I guess I can't. God. And see, this is why whenever you create content for YouTube, instructional content, you have to go through it first. So not only does the sample not work, we don't have documentation on how to use the thing. Okay, I'm gonna drag this out real quick. You know what? Let's go look. This is a web component. So let's look at the web component version. Web component. Well, where's the doc manager? Here it is, doc manager. Okay, same sample. You better have some code for me, or I'm gonna be really pissed. Okay, we did that. We did that. Okay, we have some code here. We have some code. Okay, this is better. Okay, so let's IGC doc manager. All right, all right. Let's try this. So in here, I'm gonna type IGC dash doc manager. Okay. Now it's not seeing it. I did my define custom elements just like it said. Do I need to import? Well, I'm not using it in code, am I? Now it's using this ID, right? Dock manager. Now, see, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking that at all. Why am I getting that error here? See, I really wish the React code worked, because I'm sure there's something special I have to do. Usage. There is no usage. Okay, that's themes. Let's try this one more time. Let's just try to open on... Okay! Oh, I thought it worked for a second there. Let's try a different example. Edit. Well, this one... Nope, that doesn't work either. What about this one? And nope, that doesn't work either. Oh my gosh. Miley! You breaking my code? Jeez. She broke everything. Came in here with her wrecking ball. Just busted everything up. Miley. Okay. Well, this is discouraging, to say the least. How am I supposed to see the React code? You know what? Let's try something. Let's try... Nope, not that one. GitHub, Ignite, UI. Let's go look at the code on GitHub. Maybe you need to import another library. The instructions didn't say I needed to. So Ignite UI. Maybe there's some type of React samples. Right? Let's look for React. Docs, CLI, examples. Here we go. Let's go look at the source code. Source. I don't know what sample this is. Samples. Dock manager. Oh, yeah. I'm on to something now. Source. Let's look at our index.tsx. Okay, so that's basically... Okay, we'll go back. Oh, I think I found something now. Here we go. Okay, so we did the custom... We did that. Okay, I'm looking... So far, we're creating everything in code. Get element. What's my element name? Did I miss my return, my render? Here we go. IGC Dock Manager. Interesting. What is this? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, maybe this is a trick you have to do. See, I would have known this. I would not have known this. You see this little code snippet? This is what I'm looking for. This needs to be documented. Does it matter where I put it? They put it before define custom elements, so I'm going to put it before define custom elements. There, it fixed it. Okay, that was very interesting. Where's my VS Code? What the? Okay, come on. Okay, I don't want that. I'll stick with this one. And then I have this window, which I need. All right. So it looks like in order to get this to work, we had to define this global class here, this global object with a namespace JSX, and added this interface, IGC Dock Manager. Right there. How weird. You would think that this would be clearly documented in our documentation here, since that is such a big deal, right? I wonder if I could have just used a div though. We'll try that later. Okay, so next, Brian doing React? Yes. Yes, I am. Okay. Let's look here. Doc Manager has a layout property. Got it. So Doc Manager, we want to get the element by ID as the IGC Doc Manager component. So that's why we are importing those components. Okay, so we'll import the IGC. Whoops. IGC Doc Manager from Ignite UI.Doc Manager, it looks like. Yep, okay. Are you doing an Office add-in? No, not today. I'm not doing an Office add-in. We are playing with the Doc Manager. We are playing with a React Doc Manager component. Okay, so now let's go back to this sample here, because this is where we're actually using the code. Okay, this is the render. Using that. Create, split pane, did component mount. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna kind of put this all in the top level here. So can I say const doc manager equals document dot get element by ID, and we called it doc manager as IGC doc manager, right? And this is saying it's not used. Okay, it's never read. And now it looks like it is setting a layout. Okay, it's setting a layout. Okay, oh, see this example has some different IGC doc manager. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of this top level div. And I'm gonna keep the div. Whoops. But I'm gonna remove the class name, because I don't know what that does. We're gonna keep it simple. And it looks like this is where we put another div, which will contain our information. Right, so we're gonna set the slot property. And let's say this is content. Nope, didn't want to do that. I just want text here. Content 1. Okay. I just want this one document for now. So, now what it looks like is we set its layout. And it's set to an object, okay. So doc manager dot layout. How come I'm not getting IntelliSense? That kind of blows. Okay, so looks like we have root panes and we have floating panes. So I'm assuming the root pane, well, I hope it talks about this. Yeah, it said it here too, root pane. Uses slots. The slot attribute of the content element should match the content ID. It's highly recommended to set width and height. Okay. Not really doing a great job of explaining it, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. I may be rewriting these docs as well. Okay, so we're setting the root pane. And look, I'm not getting IntelliSense here. Why is that? I want to fix that. Let's do this. Will this give me IntelliSense? Well, that didn't give me IntelliSense either. I was hoping if I, explicitly set it, it would give me the IntelliSense I'm looking for. I get Dock Manager, but nothing after that. Oh, layout. Very strange. Okay, back to work. Okay, so we'll say root pane, which we don't have IntelliSense for. This looks like we can set type. IGC Dock Manager pane type dot. Now we're setting a split pane here. We're saying the root is a split pane, so we'll go with that. Orientation, it's marked out for some reason. IGC split pane orientation dot horizontal. Okay, I'm getting some IntelliSense now. And then we have a panes collection, which is an array. The first one, we're going to set the type, IGC Dock Manager pane type, to content pane. Content ID says content 1. Whoops, misspelled that. I was thinking of doing a video or a stream on creating an Office add-in, so let me know if you think you'd like to do that. That'd be interesting. I'm gonna say header pane 1. Okay. So I was wondering what the slot was for. And it says, to load content of the panes, the Dock Manager uses slots. The slot attribute of the content element should match the content ID of the content pane in the layout configuration. It's highly recommended to set the width and height for predictable response. Okay, like that. Well, let me ask you this. If the slot must match the content ID, why didn't you just call the attribute content ID? Like, I don't get it. Why is this called slot if it's the content ID? Right? I mean, is that just me? Or is that not... I don't know, it just makes sense to me. Like, oh, okay, we got this object, a pane, that has a content ID. I know, let's create an attribute called slot, and they have to match up. Okay. So, should I theoretically be able to run this now? Right? Lubo, sure, an Office add-in implementation would be fun stuff to watch and learn. What would the Office add-in do? I don't know. How about we do an Outlook add-in, an Outlook Online, that takes an email and sends it to something. Interacts with some type of API to create a task like Slingshot. There's a product we have called Slingshot. We could do that. That might be kind of fun. Slot is a cooler word. It might be a cooler word. Then this should have been called slot ID. Right? Like, it doesn't match. That's my problem. Now, it could maybe something else. Maybe content ID isn't used on other pane types. I don't know. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Let me scroll down. Content ID. Content ID. They all say content ID. Content ID. Yeah, slot doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so let's go ahead, npm start. And let's see if we can actually get this to work. I'm just looking for one pane. Oh, and it didn't work. Has no imported member IGC. What? We didn't import that? I thought we imported that. We imported it right here. Say what? Okay, let's go look at our docs again. Let's go look at our docs up here. Import. Oh, IGC Doc Manager component. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, El Condor, thanks for joining. There we go. Component. Couldn't just call it IGC Doc Manager. All right, so I saved that. That should be fixed. Yeah, IntelliSense. I'm not getting IntelliSense for some reason. Fixed it. Now, I don't think we're using that anywhere else. So now let's just refresh this. Layout is null. Cannot set property layout. Null. Oh, you know what? We have to use effect. That's why copy and paste. This is exactly why you don't copy and paste. You have to understand how these things work. Right? You have to know this stuff. What is it? Isn't that right? I don't remember the syntax for that. No, it's there we go. All right. Let's try this. Let's put this in here. Yeah, but then you don't understand why it does not work. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it within the function, even though it doesn't need to be. I'm going to do that. All right. Let's try this. Now it's saying this is null. Doc Manager. Get element by ID. Doc Manager. Doc Manager. Very interesting. So it's saying it's null, but I'm using effect, basically saying I'm trying to get it whenever I'm using this hook to run this code when this first renders here. Because I'm not using a component-based class where they have this component did mount. Basically, this is what I need. Oh, you know what I could do? I could probably do a ref. I wonder if I could do a ref. React function component did mount. Here we go. See, nope, I did that. Use effect. See, that's what I thought. I'm using use effect, this hook, with an empty dependency here. Ali, my friend, good to see you. Yeah, okay. I am using that right here. That's what I thought, but it's still not working for me. Okay, let's do this. Layout is null. It's saying the layout is null. Cannot set property layout. That is really strange. Why can't you set the property layout? Okay, hold on. Let's do this first. Good old debugging. Console.log doc manager. Okay, where's my console? Let me cut this out. Wait a minute. Duh. That's what I was trying to do right there. I put it in the wrong line. There we go. Jeez, Brian, just pay attention to where you're putting your code. Sorry, I put it one line up too high because I was using the use effect to get the doc manager. Get element by ID will only work when the element has been rendered, right? And so that was the problem. And look, we have a pane. Yes, we have a pane. All right. Okay, so we've made some progress. That is exciting. That's exciting. Now, they're creating a very involved pane here. Okay, so what are they doing? Okay, so they're creating methods to create these content panes. Which makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. Create split pane. Right? And so when they call the method, like they're creating all these panes first. They get the doc manager. So they're creating all these panes. Then they set the layout, type split, horizontal. Then here's the collection of panes. You see that? So instead of doing it inline like this, they just create functions to create the panes instead, like create content pane, right? Which it's exactly how we do it in a production application. And then floating panes. Okay, so let's do this one little bit at a time. I'm gonna create these functions up here though. Let's start with create content pane. Okay, I'll actually paste this one. Alrighty. There we go. Actually, I can make this. Whoops. Oh, what'd I do? Undo, undo, undo. Oh, that's what I did. Okay. I thought I could do that. That's fine. That's fine. Let's do function. This is pane-driven development. Yeah, JavaScript is a pane by itself. That's why I try to use TypeScript, because TypeScript gives me a little more, supposed to give me a better clue of what's going on. Okay, so for example, now I could say, you know, const content pane 1 equals create content pane, the ID, which is content 1, and then the header, which is content pane header. Right? Something like that. Then, instead of doing this, see that? I can just say content pane 1. Okay, so same approach here. Like same result, but we're using a function to create that instead, right? Which is going to clean this code up here a little bit. But there's our content pane header. Okay, so let's go back to their example. So now I don't mind. Okay, let's copy and paste all these now. I kind of understand how this works now. Crap. What's the format? There is, Shift Alt F. Okay, Shift. And I did not like how it formatted that at all. I don't like how it formatted this. Oh well. And I don't care about the class name. See, I wanted it all one line. I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have trusted the format. Because you know when you auto format, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. That's what I tell my kids all the time. Okay, so now that we have that, so we have pane 1, pane 2, pane 3, 4. Ooh, I'm just going to copy this now. Ooh, I'm going to copy 5. Actually, I'm going to copy all the way to 9 because these are all content panes. So I'm going to copy that, and I am not going to auto-format that again. And I got to get rid of this. Does Visual Studio Code have the alt? Nope, it doesn't. Okay. Now, this turns into pane 1. Okay, now they created split panes for all that. But you know what? I'm just going to play around for now. Let's go pane 2. Pane 3. Let's go pane 4. Let's just see what we have. Okay. Okay, we have some panes going on. We have one that's unpinned. Do I need to set a height on this? It looks like I need to set a height. That is probably actually happening in this CSS here. Yep. It's happening with, they're calculating the 100% height. Do I want to include that or not? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I could just set it on here. No big deal. Let's set this. Should I set the div? Style equals height. Was it height? No, height. How do you spell height? Come on, people. Help me out. 100%. Does that not have a style on it? Oh! Sorry. I think this has to be a style object. So that means it might be... Would it be an array? No, I haven't done an inline style in React in a long time. That's what it is. Nope, that's not what it... Okay. Good old Google. React inline style. Here we go. Inline style. Just give me the syntax, por favor. See, that didn't work for me. Okay, yeah, I'm doing that. Does that have to be single? Okay, had to be single. Had to be single. Had to be the single ticks. That's what it had to be. Not the double ticks. I was close. I was so close. But that didn't work. What about 800 picks? Save. There we go. Okay, so we have 3, 1, 2, document 2, document 1. Wait a minute, document 1. Content pane 1. What do they call these things? So this isn't too bad. So let's look at what else they did here. So they created a create split pane and create tab pane. All right. Let's go ahead and create split pane. And we will fix this. Now this creates a split pane. You provide an orientation and you provide an array of panes. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then create tab pane.
This may seem like a stupid question.
Got to convert that to a function.
Can I call you back in a bit?
What are they doing here? Okay, same thing. Orientation, array of content panes, type document host, size, array of panes. Yes, many panes. Root pane. And then that array of panes goes into the tab group pane. Okay, this is a little confusing. Not gonna lie, this one's a little confusing. Now the split pane isn't that bad. The split pane is simply you create a pane, the type is split pane, you set the orientation, and you have a collection of panes. The tab pane does look somewhat complex, because we're creating a pane of type document host. The document host, okay, you can provide a size. Root pane, so the document host has a root pane, which is of type split pane. Wait a minute.
Did you hear Jessica had an
Okay, so the root pane is a split pane.
about the health of her newborn? How basic.
No more TV on the radio, it's NPR, where she heard the interview in her husband's car with her ex-fiance who had gone EDM, but ever since her wedding.
And then you set the panes of the split pane to a tabbed group pane. That one is confusing. That one is legit confusing. Split pane 1, split pane 2. Okay, I see what they're doing here. Okay, so I'm going to remove these. Now let's just add the one split pane that they created so far. Get rid of this, because we're using functions.
Are you kidding? Of course I'm not going to let her wear pink. Didn't you see the Huffington Post article on Facebook this morning? Gender roles
What do we got? Okay, so now
blossom on the whole for rose.
now it's really weird.
Have you seen Blackfish? It is so sad. There is no way we are ever going to have a
Okay.
SeaWorld ever.
Okay, I see what a split pane does.
iPhone 6 clashes with her indigo aura.
Split pane basically splits your panes with a resizer in between them. That's what it looks like. What's it tell me? Okay, so content pane represents a pane with a header and content. It can be hosted inside a split pane or a tab group pane. You need blank after 100%. Oh, do I? Is that what it is? No, that's... You mean... Are you talking about right here? When I went 100%? I need that? I don't think that's it. Nope, that wasn't it. I wonder... Just curious. Just curious. Nope, that's not it either. Yeah, I'm not sure why that height wasn't working. Is it working 100%? Now the width works 100%. We'll go back to 800 pixels. That works. Okay, so here's a split pane. And if I pin that, okay, how did we get... Okay, I gotta make this bigger. I want to see this big mode. Oh, what do we got? Is that a bug? I think we have a bug. Refresh. Unpin. Okay, I gotta rename these. Content. Look, there's no content here. I'm missing my content. 1, 2. Missing. Yeah, see, I needed to see this. Where's the content in there? It's missing. Hold on. I'm going to put all this on one line again. Need to see my content. Well, at least the content pane is pretty easy to understand.
I was orphaned by droid forces formed in the Clone Wars, adopted by warriors and trained behind closed doors of fortified coverts, where the armor is forged, where the sad songs are sung of the siege.
Okay, Control F5. Content pane 1. Wait, there's 2 content pane 1s. I think copy and paste got me in trouble. Recursive split pane incoming. Looks that way. Let me go look at this code I was copying and pasting. 1, 2. Let me just put the split pane in there. I think what was happening is I had split pane 1 here in the panes and in the split pane, which was obviously you can't have the same element in 2 places. So Control F5. Okay, this looks better. There's the split pane. This one's pinned, this one's not pinned, unpin. And horizontal. Okay. Let me put this back over here. Now I got it working. And it's horizontal. That's what we said. Wait, did we? It says vertical. But this says horizontal. Try height 100 VH for full. Okay, I'll try that. 100 VH. And I won't even put a space here. I'll just put it all together. All right, let's try that. Hey! Well, hold on. Control F5. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Thank you. I've never seen the VH before. What's that stand for? Vertical height? What's that stand for? I've never seen that. I gotta research it now. How to make div 100%. Viewport percentage. Viewport percentage. Okay, VH. One VH is equal to 1% of the viewport's... Oh, viewport height. That is to say 100 VH is equal to 100 the height of the browser window, regardless of where the element is situated in the DOM. Oh, sweet. Thank you for that. I never knew about that. I learned something new. Okay, so what I want to do actually, I'm going to say is pinned true. Because I'm trying to understand how these work. Because we have root pane, split pane. To me, this is a horizontal split, which makes sense. But here, when we create our split pane, we said a vertical. So where does this vertical come into play? Oh, I know. I think I know. Wait, do I? Do I know? No, I don't know. No, I was kind of thinking of that, Johnny. It says your horizontal split only has one child. If I add another, like, maybe these split panes is up and down. Right? Because, okay, if I add a pane, so these two panes belong to this split pane. And this split pane orientation, we said, is vertical. So is that up and down? Here, let's do this. Let's find out. I may just be misunderstanding what vertical means. Okay, so never mind. My idea of what vertical meant is not the definition of vertical. Apparently. Because I changed this to horizontal. And now it's actually up and down. Is that backwards? Hold on, let's change this one. What happens if I change this one? Nothing. See, this had no impact on that. Probably split the difference between vertical direction, CS vert split line. Yeah, I guess, but oh man. Is this just the desktop developer in me? When I think of a horizontal split, I think of it the line going horizontal. Like, right? A horizontal split. Split it horizontally. But this... But maybe the horizontal split is you're splitting left to right? That just does not seem right to me. Let's go to split pane. Okay. A container pane which stacks all of its child panes horizontally or vertically. So it's supposed to stack them. It's splitting on the horizontal axis. I guess, but in my mind, when I'm thinking horizontal, I'm thinking this line should be horizontal. But yeah, it's splitting on the horizontal axis. Where I'm splitting left to right horizontally. And if I go vertical, then yeah, I'm moving it vertically to split vertically. But the layout of the pane in my mind is horizontal because the line is going, the splitter is situated horizontally. But it is on the vertical axis. Okay, that's a little confusing for me. I'll have to wrap my head around that. My brain just wants to think about it the other way, right? Okay. That's not too shabby, I guess. Here, let's take this split pane. Oh, they got a tab. No, I want to just deal with split pane right now. I don't want to get into anything else just yet. And I'm going to do pane 3 and 4. Pane 3, pane 4. Get rid of this. Split pane 2. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Okay. Oh, 1, 2. Okay, these are both vertical. Okay. I got it now. I got it now. Just rewrite the generated method. I might have to. Okay, I understand where this orientation is coming into now. So on this orientation, so we created the root pane of the layout is a split pane. And we set it to horizontal. Now we know that in this web world, the horizontal is flipped. So I gotta flip the way I think about it. And so this is the horizontal split pane. Now, because we have multiple children, and these are vertical split panes, right? This is the vertical here. So this is split pane 1, vertical. This is split pane 2, vertical. So I guess if you look at it this way, they are stacked vertically. So what if I change this to horizontal? And then these are stacked horizontally because they're side by side. Let me read this again. A split pane is a container pane which stacks all of its child panes horizontally or... Okay. Yeah. It is splitting them based on how they stack the views, not the direction of the splitter itself. Right? So I was thinking splitting vertically. Like you cut a piece of bread. You either cut it vertically or you cut it horizontally. Like I'm cutting the bread. That's my split line. But this is actually how you're stacking them. Right? How the views stack on top. So this is a vertical stacking. So the splitter is horizontal. And this is a horizontal splitter, which is stacking the views horizontally, but splits vertically. Okay, I get it. I get what they're doing. It doesn't connect the split lines of the inner panes. No, I don't think it should, actually, because these are individual splitters, like panes. Right? This one will work because we have 2 panes here. Whoops. That are split horizontally, meaning they're stacked side by side. Right? But inside of each, this is each a split pane, which is stacked vertically. I'm not going to say split. Stacked vertically. Then these should move independently of each other. Because these are 2 individual stacked panes. Or split panes, which are stacked vertically. See, I had to change my terminology. Stacked versus split. Would be awesome if they have a connected mode, though. Oh, maybe. I mean, if that's the case, why would you split them this way? Right? If that was the case, you would just all have them under one, like this, but side by side. See, you would do it like this. If that's what you wanted, you would just arrange them this way. See that? And then they would arrange at the same height. Okay. Okay, I understand the split pane now. I understand split pane. Okay. That's good. Next is the tabbed pane, because the tabbed pane is a little more confusing. Okay, so let's take the tabbed pane. They created that first. Create this. I'm already using 1, 2, 3, 4, so let's go 5, 6. Right? Do I have a pane 5? But this way you can never make 4 fields that's resized together. Yeah. Oh, content pane. That needs to be pane 5. Okay, I don't want to deal with any like pinning yet. Okay, so tab pane 1. And they're putting the tabbed pane. Well, actually, they're putting a tab pane here. Okay, I don't want to get that complex yet. Miku, hello friend, I'm your biggest fan. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate the kind words. Let me put the tab pane 1 here first. I want to see what we're dealing with before I start nesting these things. Okay, so what we have now. Miko! Is it Miko? Okay. So now what we have is we have a root pane, which is a split pane, which will stack them horizontally, right? We have 2 split panes stacked horizontally, split pane, and then my face is on top of this tabbed pane here. And then we have the tab pane with 2 tabs. Okay. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Okay. So if I were to remove this tabbed pane here and put it in, say, this vertical. Now what we have, okay. All right, this is making sense now. I'm starting to get it. Now we have a root pane, which is a split pane, which stacks the views horizontally. So we have this, we have a split pane here and a split pane here. Now the first tab of the split pane, of the second split pane, is a tabbed pane. So that's why the tabs are stacked on top of this content pane. Okay, I'm finally getting it. I'm finally getting this thing. I'm following a Udemy course on how to make .NET 5 apps with React as client. Oh yeah, so you're using .NET 5, ASP.NET 5 for the server, and then you're connecting to the APIs using React. Yeah, that's not hard. You'll use fetch a lot. You'll use fetch to be something like this. Fetch, right? Your request info, blah blah blah, headers, all that stuff. It's actually pretty simple. Once you learn the syntax, it's pretty simple. Okay. I use Axios. You know, I haven't used that yet. I use all the standard stuff for now. I haven't had a need to use Axios yet. Okay, so I'm starting to understand this a little better now. So now let's get to floating panes, because it says we can have a floating pane. I think that is a separate floating panes, right? Is that not right? Could have swore that was available. Oh wait, it's on the, okay. Sorry, I was at the wrong level. It's after here. It's not so much the syntax. I know C#, but it's a new way of coding and thinking. That is for sure. So floating panes. So these should, whoops. These should be the panes that basically are floating around. So if I wanted to float pane 7. Oh, wait, no. Yes. No, yes. Yo, yes. Pane 8. Can I do that? Undefined. Okay, so my syntax is wrong. Ah, should have known it. Should have known it would have followed something. Well, you know what? Actually, can I float one pane? Nope, can't float one pane. Okay. Then why have an array if I can't float? Let's read the docs. Let's read the docs. Maybe they say something. Okay. A lot of things in ASP are already taken care of, like authentication with identity and other things, unlike Node.js, where you got to write things from ground up unless using a framework. Yes, that is true. One thing with the ASP.NET APIs, though, is the, what's it called? CORS? The CORS policy? Ugh, that's annoying. Okay, do they talk about floating panes? Floating pane. The floating pane is a split pane. Rendered. So it has to be a split pane. That's why it wouldn't work. Okay. So yeah, split pane. Well, how about this? What if I were to remove that and put this here? Can I do that? No, it still doesn't like that. Why have an array if it doesn't like that? Did I spell it right? Oh, no, it works. I just had to refresh. Come on, Brian. Jeez. Can you make desktop apps for Mac using .NET? Kind of, sort of. If you use Uno platform, if you use Xamarin-ish, if you use possibly, I haven't tested this yet, Blazor with Electron. I mean, Blazor's technically .NET, right? That's all I can think of that a desktop app would run on Mac. If you're using a Uno platform, Xamarin, or possibly Blazor inside of Electron. Because technically Blazor is .NET. Okay, so that worked. Here's my floating pane. I'd rather not use Electron. There is nothing wrong with Electron. Electron has a bad rap. I will say, I mean, you got to think about it. Teams runs on Electron, and it has like 100 million daily users. I mean, that is insane. Insane. Okay, no, it doesn't like a non-split pane. I made... Here, I'll show you an app that I made in Electron. If I have to sign in, then this could be a pain in the butt. I don't want to deal with it. Don't want to do that one. Here, I have another one. This app right here is built in Electron. This is Slingshot. This is an Electron app. Oh, I'm not connected to my VPN, so I'm not going to get that. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so it doesn't like non-split panes, that's for sure. So it has to be a split pane. Noted. Maui will supposedly be able to run on Mac. Yeah, so Maui will... Basically, Xamarin is essentially dead. It's going to be replaced with Maui. And Maui will build a Mac app using .NET. And you can develop on a Mac with Visual Studio for Mac if you want to. Yep, VS Code is Electron as well. There's a lot of Electron apps out there. Now, what's going to be really cool is I heard that Microsoft is going to replace the current Chromium implementation in Electron with WebView 2, which is going to be huge in performance. Massive, massive performance increase. So that would be great. If we can get that. Yeah, I saw Microsoft wants to buy Discord. I really hope they don't. 10 billion. Oh my gosh. 10 billion. Yeesh, 10 billion for a chat app. Can you believe that? It's insane. Why doesn't Microsoft want to buy anything that I have? Okay, so I think the one I really need to kind of focus on right now is the tabbed pane. Let me go back up to this tab. Create tab pane. So to create a tab pane, it looks like it has to be a document host, right? Or no, or does it? Let's read about tab panes here. The tab group pane displays its child content as tabs of a tab component. Here's how I tab group pane with a content pane. Actually, no, that's not actually required. So why is this currently inside of a... Why they put this in a document host then? That's interesting. So what if I did this? What if I said type IGC doc manager, and we'll say tab group pane. And I'm gonna set its panes to pane 7, pane 8. Right? That's all I should have to do, right? Refresh. Yes! That's all I had. Well, you can't see it because my head is in the way. Where's my... Okay, hold on. Oh, nope, you can't see it. It's here! Trust me! It's there. You can see it switching at the top, but my banner and my head is... You know what? Here, let me pop it out here. And I'll shrink it down. There! Now you can see it. See? Yay! I wonder why they went through all the trouble to put that inside of a doc... What do they call it? Document host? Yeah, they put it inside of a document host. Why would you do that? Okay, this isn't that bad. It's not that bad at all. Anyway, what is it you're doing right now? Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I have to create a video on using the React Dock Manager for Infragistics. Now, I haven't used the Dock Manager in React. So I am learning how to use the Dock Manager in React. And then I'm going to take what I know, format it in a way that makes it easy for other people to understand. And then I will do an instructional video on how to use the Infragistics React Dock Manager, right? But first, before I can teach it, I got to understand it. And so right now, I am in the process of learning how to use the thing. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. I thought you hated React and liked Vue. It's definitely... It's definitely not my favorite technology, that's for sure. Definitely not my favorite technology. However, I will say, now that they moved to function-based components, I like it a little better. I like it a lot better now that they're moving to these function, right? Dragging tabs is super unintuitive. You mean like, boop, like that? Oh, I know why they put it in a host, I bet, so they can drag the whole thing out. Can I just float it? Yeah, I can float it. This is a pretty cool control. Like, this is pretty freaking cool, though. Because you could put anything you want in there. Redux is so easy with hooks, especially with using Redux Toolkit library. Yeah, I mean, ever since they moved to this function style, it's kind of grown on me. It's definitely easier, because if you look at the code to write this component, like, you know, a class-based component, the way you had to hook into events and bind events and all that other crazy crap, like, it was, I didn't like it. And you know, the way you had to update the state and define your state with your props and all that, like, it was pretty painful. But this is a lot easier now. Like, this is old school. I would not use this approach. I definitely like the new functions, for sure. See, you wanted to just drop it in the taskbar as well. You don't need a bind when using arrow functions, but there's other issues with arrow functions when you're using this class-based React component that I ran into. So it was always better to use the bind method, because the arrow components, I can't remember because it's been a while since I've looked into it. Was it performance or memory or something? I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't good. It wasn't positive. Okay. What else do I need to know about this thing? So a document. So here they did put it in a document host, which I'm kind of curious why they put it in a document host. There's an area of tabs for documents similar to the one in Visual Studio for code editing and design view. Okay, let's go back. Tab pane 1. Let me refresh this. Interesting. Oh, I can maximize these now. I didn't know this was maximize. Look at that. Maximize, minimize. Sweet. So it looks like when you use a document host, you don't get the pin, unpin. This is like... Okay, yeah, and you can't close it. That looks like to be the only real difference between a document host and some other type of pane. So document host, split pane. Not sure why they put it in split pane. It should just been a group pane. Okay. Oh, and you could save your layout and stuff. Well, that's kind of cool. I mean, if I were to do that, I'd have to change my code a little bit. I would have to bring this out. Oh, that document. And I'd have to move this up. Something like that. That's outside of that, right? Yeah.
So now you've finished and you've set the bar higher than the original point.
Oh, use ref. Oh, I should use the use ref hook. Yeah, you would want to use the use ref hook for that. But I am coming up on my time. Just put that back. Which ID extension are you using? I'm not sure. Let's take a look. I don't know what extensions I have installed. Angular, C#, yes, Lint. I got some Infragistics ones. Markdown, Office, Prettier, the Tour. Yes, Lint. So nothing too fancy. Using a React also. Oh, nice. Miko is converting his personal website to TypeScript. I do like TypeScript better than normal JavaScript. I will say that for sure. But you know, this doc manager isn't actually that difficult to use. The one part that is really weird is this part that you have to add for React, right? Vidor. It's pronounced Vidor. I thought it was Miko. Now it's Vidor? Or Vidor. Or Vidor. You're confusing me. Oh. That's what you're talking about. This one. The Gamer. How did you learn to code? Lots and lots and lots of practice. Lots of practice. Lots. Basically, I locked myself in a room and just started teaching myself how to write code. Finding, back then it was books. Yeah, like you had to get a lot of books, right? Back then it was all about books because we didn't really have all the content you have available now. I mean, now if you're learning to code nowadays, it's ridiculously easy because there's just so much content out there, so much free content, right? But yeah, it was a lot tougher back in my day. I'm lucky because I never got stuck in tutorial hell. Always wanted to try things on my own. Yeah, but yeah, it just took. Do you think Doc Manager is worth the money? Whoa, no. Let's go look real quick. Let's look at that. I don't know how much it is. Let's see. Where do I... Let's see. Is there a price on this? Because it comes in a bundle. Like, you don't just get React, I don't think. Let's see. Price. Oh, right here. Oh, $7.49 for Ignite UI for React. And then the professional will get you everything. Okay, I see what they're doing. Yeah, it's pretty steep. So $7.49 is for all of the components, React components, which are here. But you know what they do. You know sales, right? It's like, hey, just for a little bit more, you get everything, right? For just a couple $100 more or $150 more, you not only get React, but you get Angular, ASP.NET Core, MVC, Blazor, jQuery, Web Components, Web Forms, Indigo Design, or not Indigo Design, but Windows Forms, WPF, Uno, UWP, WinUI, Xamarin, like, right? You get the professional, you get the package that comes with every single thing under the sun. And that price is per developer. Good point, Johnny. So it's not like per app. You can write as many apps as you want for it, as you want with these tools. You buy it once per developer, and then you can renew every year for updates and all that stuff if you want. But you always own the version you buy. But yeah, I think it's worth it. Have you ever tried to? I mean, for the grid alone, like, let's go back to React real quick. Components. Oh, this little chatbots. Leave me alone, chatbot. I mean, when you want to start doing some real line of business applications and you need high performing charts and grids and crazy, I mean, this isn't stuff you're just going to find willy-nilly out there. You want a spreadsheet to add to your application to load, edit, save spreadsheet components, or spreadsheets, Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, right? Charts, financial charting. Actually, we have a lot of customers that use our financial charting. Like, these are some pretty high-powered components. Not to mention, there's a team dedicated to just maintaining and writing these, right? Like, you don't have to worry about any of that. So for a small fee, one-time fee, I mean, you get all this great stuff with updates for a year, support. You need to find a bug, they fix it. Like, you don't have to be your own control vendor, right? I am a big fan of buying tools. Like, I buy tools because it saves me a ton of time, right? Now, you don't have to buy Infragistics. I prefer you do because it keeps me employed. But no matter what, you should be using paying developers for their tools. So yeah, my button component goes for sale tonight, only $2.49 a year. Hey, if it's a good button component and you want to support it and everyone who buys it 24/7 or 24/5, we don't work weekends. Well, I work weekends, but our support team doesn't. Then yeah. So, you know, this kind of gets into a whole nother discussion about like open source. So I have an open source project that has over, 16 million downloads. And you can imagine the support burden that comes with it. And that's open source. And I don't get paid for that, right? And so I've been working on this project for 10 years. And I burned out a couple times because of the demand of open source consumers not supporting the project, not even, you know, supporting with PRs, helping with bug fixes, helping with features, helping with docs, nothing. They're just like, fix this. I want this, now. And I'm like, I burned out like a couple times. I almost deleted the project. Just straight up deleted it. Because you got to keep in mind, individuals aren't the only ones who use open source. We're talking, you know, my open source framework is called Prism. And it's used by the biggest companies in the world, right? The biggest companies in the world, like banks, financial institutions, governments, freaking fast food chain restaurants, 911 software, like very important, critical software is built using my open source project. And guess how much they contribute? Yeah, they don't contribute a thing. They're the worst. Those companies are the worst. They're $1 billion companies and can't even submit a PR to help fix anything. I'll make you delete your YouTube channel with my usual React app demands. Johnny says, wait, I've heard of that. You've heard of Prism? Yeah, Prism's pretty popular. I have to check out how many downloads it has now total. I think it was over 16 million last I checked, which is that's a lot. That's a lot. But yeah, actually, you all support me more than any of those companies ever have, and so I greatly appreciate you all for that. Without you, I really wouldn't do what I'm doing now, honestly. But well, it is actually time for me to have lunch. And then I have to run to my other session for the MVP Summit I'm attending. Try Prettier and Simple React Snippets extensions for it. I have Prettier installed. I do have Prettier. So I do have that. But I got to get going. I do want to take this time to say thank you all for joining me today and watching me learn this React Document Manager. I appreciate you all. Love you all. I know that you could spend your time doing anything else, and you chose to spend it with me, and I greatly appreciate that. So, with that, have a great day, and I will see you next time.